angustia que siente no sirve para nada. Oye, tienes que cambiar, lucha porque no es tan mal, risa porque la vida te da, la angustia que siente no sirve para nada.
Check. Is this thing on? Shout out to everybody here on the live. Let's go, man. I'm hyped right now. Let's go. Going for a day's pay. It happens. Sometimes Bitcoin's going to dump. When it dumps, there's good prices. Remember that. I know you show up just for the outfits. I know you're not sure what he's going to wear. And then you're like, okay, I can leave now. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. But now you got to stay for the chance. You come for the outfits, you stay for the chance. God bless you all. Thank you for being here. Shout out to WEEX. We are shorting Bitcoin. We're up 883. I only used $1,800. I'm up 49%. This was the short that I'm pretty sure I made live, or I either put inside the live, I either did it on the update, or I did it on a live stream. But I showed you guys why I got in. This was a scalp I made this morning, 2 for 6. It did not play out. I said I'll try to scalp while we're here. I might get up to here. But the overall move was to the downside. The daily did not look good. It was on a head and shoulder pattern. I told everyone that all the daily head and shoulders have been dumping. We should take a head short just in case. And bang, bang, bang. And then my man's in salmon again. Shout out to the future crypto teacher. I like that. I like that name. Carry on the legacy, man. Nice call yesterday. Good morning, sir. That's your pants is pink colored too. No, you know what? You can wear different colors with pink. And I have a big announcement to make. I have a huge announcement to make. I am wearing pants. Thank you. I know. The pant reveal was a big deal for a lot of you. I know. Hold your horses. It's all right. We're gonna make it. Silver pocket square looking sharp. Yeah, it's a white pocket square, but it might look silver with the way the lighting is. Yeah, no, just white. I figured white would match the white of the shirt. I had blue. Blue kind of clashed a little bit with the salmon. You know what I mean? Even though the shirt does have blue on it. Anyway, let's get into brass tacks here. What are we doing with BTC? Is it going to continue to dump? I move my stop loss into position. Might even take like 75% and leave a runner. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like you go 75% of the position, close that, and leave 25% to just run. But man, this looks like it's going to continue to dump on us to the downside here for BTC. And I'm going to show you why I got into a short, why I believe it looked like we were going to go down, and how I'm making a day's pay here. How I used $1,800 just to make $891 for the day, live on WEEX. And it doesn't happen like this every time. You've seen me lose. I'm not always trying to be a smart butt here. Today I happen to win. So it's a good day. However, no shoes. No, you can't wear shoes. Are you kidding me? No socks and shoes. I've never worn socks and shoes. White, shiny on screen. No, it doesn't clash. It wears classy. Yeah. How would you position your stops? Well, first of all, I'm above break even, so I can't lose the trade. I would start moving them to WEEX. You know, like I just moved this one. I should get rid of it here and move it down. I like to see the money. Right, there you go. Wow, 237 for 230. You saw that? It was 237 for $2,370. Weird. It's just like they matched each other basically exactly. Crypto and stock market. You were told. Opium copium. Yeah, I mean, you could tell it was going to be somewhat close to the top if you ran in. That's why I sat patiently. I'm not in any stocks except for Mara. I'm only in one stock. I have no exposure to any of this nonsense. None of the ups. I did miss out on a lot of pump. life-changing wealth, but I got my life-changing wealth. Wow, look at Bitcoin continuing to dump here. I'm about to make my $1,000, 61,097. I kind of want to position myself there and guarantee 571 of the trade. I like 927. I can always get back in when we get back to the 21-day moving average. I got to look at the other time frames and see what's happening. Wow, look, that is just a massive dump for Bitcoin. We're getting too far for the 21. If we were in a long, that'd be a perfect place to start to think about taking profits. I mean, it's insane. I'm going to move myself into 720, see if I can ride a little more out of this. But I like 935 is a great, and I flipped the chart upside down just to kind of give myself a perspective. If that was a pump, we're just too far for the 21-day moving average, or the 21 on any time frame, the 21 period on the 15. I'm going to start getting greedy. I'm going to start getting real greedy. Or take 75% off the table and let the rest run. Like, that's another idea, which I never do. Something I barely ever do. Because I'm like, why? What's the point? All or nothing. You know what I mean? Wow, this looks like it may give another big dump here to the downside. You can see Bookmap has more liquidity down. Even at the beginning of the show, I have Bookmap running for you. When the show begins, you're getting data. I just want you to understand that. During the countdown, I'm feeding you free information because this costs money, and I'm telling you where the liquidations are. So when you just start the show, you're getting fed free information right off the bat, man. We're giving you value during the countdown. I hope you realize that. I think most of you do. I don't think, maybe some beginners don't. I'm revealing liquidation levels right in front of you while you're watching the countdown. You're basically getting more. I mean, not selling this candle, I think, would be kind of crazy. I'd love to get 1,000 though. Let's get the $1,000 run here. Continue to dump, baby. Send it, baby. Send it. Oh my gosh, that was such a send. Come on now. I got to sell that. That's crazy. I got to sell this. I'm selling this. That's just too much. I got to get out there. That's too much. And maybe it continues. It probably does. But I'll get in on another. I mean, that was a massive dump. We're so far for the 21-day moving average. I'll take my $1,000. Let's go. Let's go. And Bitcoin back to 61,000 on the day, struggling. Shout out to my lifers. And if you made gains on the stream, made gains in the trading group, you're watching me and you're kind of privy to what we've been talking about, what we've been going over, then you knew all about this short. This wasn't the first time that you heard about it. And you probably would be in the money right now too as well on the short. At key support now too, Sammy. Attaboy, 60K already. Opportunities are disguised as hard work. You guys got to keep pushing every single day to make it happen. Shout out to all the beautiful people here on the live. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. I would greatly appreciate that. It would be absolutely amazing. Let's pump this stream up to where it belongs. Wow, they're going to continue to dump. I do tend to sell a little early, but this is a massive dump. I haven't seen this many red candle, 15-minute red candles in a row in a long time. How could I not sell that? I mean, that's insanity. You're too far for the 21. I mean, if that was a pump and you decided it was going to go higher, I mean, come on now. So now maybe it does go lower, but like we do the Twisted Sister. A little different on the bear side, but you kind of make either a descending triangle, a bear pennant, and this thing has to reconnect to the 21. When it does, we can get back into a short. Probably a V-shaped recovery coming. I mean, a move like that, usually you get a bounce right back to the upside. Like, that is crazy. I wouldn't be surprised if I get to play the model later on this afternoon. Might make this a $2,000, $3,000, maybe a $5,000 day. We'll see how this goes. We opened up that trade yesterday afternoon. I've been in the trade. I was down underwater probably $300-400 a few times. I was underwater this morning. I told my students, I'm going to stay short here. You know what I mean? I'm just going to keep my short. Now, I make a video update explaining exactly what I'm doing. I don't just send a chart out there. Because a chart's one thing, right? Like, how do you know? But one day when I started I was in a Discord with the mentor. It was actually a Telegram. And the mentor, sent in charts. He never really did a video update. He sent in charts. And one day, I'm such a visual learner. I was like, man, if I ever start my own group, like, I'm going to give video updates. You know what I mean? I'm going to explain exactly what and how I'm doing something and why. You know what I mean? So like yesterday, you got a video update at 10 p.m. at night explaining kind of how I saw the market, what I was looking for, right? Look, daily flipping bearish. You usually don't want the daily candle to pump right after 8 p.m. with no bottom wick. More than not, it leads to a red daily candle by 8 the next day. We shall see. So I'm telling you, based on candle body movement, that we're likely going to the downside, right? We're in a holding pattern. Alts are waiting on Bitcoin. They were. And a lot of alts just took a dump with BTC. All right, here was a little scalp that could have played out. You want to watch this. If the 21 caught and we got a pump, that could have changed the day. This kind of slopped down and lost the 200 moving average. This got stopped out. I went 2 for 6, so I got, but that's great. I went for the scalp while I had the long open. And then there you go, 444, and then we continued to get the short. Okay, and now kind of here we are. So I'd be looking for some type of sideways price action. I just sold a short on that massive dump on that 15-minute candle. So far for the 21-day moving average. Let's take a look at what this did to the big picture. Let's do our top-down analysis. Let me jump on into the chat, too, and say what's up to the chat. See what's going on with my peoples and my lifers. God bless everybody here. Shout out to the haters, too. We love you. We love the haters as much as the lovers, man. We love y'all. You guys show up and hate every single day. We love it. Someone was hating at the beginning of the stream. I absolutely love it. One guy hates me so much, he made his screen name is like a hater name. You know what I mean? Unbelievable. I think that's amazing that I have that effect on somebody. My foot is doing way better. I rode a bicycle for the first time today. I rode a bicycle for the first time since, let's see, when was the last time I rode a bicycle? Probably I'm going to say December, I might have rode one sometime in January, but yeah, so I rode a bicycle for the first time. And you have to understand, I'm an active guy. I'm out there running. I don't jog. I think jogging's corny. No offense if you jog, so don't get pissed if I say this, but I think jogging's corny. It's really bad on your knees. It's not good for you. You know what I mean? When I see people out jogging, I'm always like, you're not, it's counterintuitive to the rest of your body. Anyway, who cares? People do what they want. I do what I want. I get it. But I like to be out. I like to be active. You know what I mean? I like to be on, paddle boards. You know what I mean? Using your abs and your body. I like to be swimming. I like to be, I like to be running. I'm running on the beach. I like to play sports with my kids on the beach. I like to be active. The water sports keep you active. Stuff like that. And God bless if you do run. God bless you. I know there's probably a few runners here in the crowd. We got so many people here of all different walks of life. Right? Scots in town versus Brazil. If you're there, go out and join the Scots. The Scots, I just watched the videos of the Scots in Boston. It was amazing. You know what I mean? Did you dump your WorldCoin position? No, yeah, I had to. I put my stop loss into position, and they got me out for about $200. It was kind of sad after all that. If they jog in the dirt or on a track, it's not bad, terrible. But on the asphalt and sidewalk, it's straight. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It blows your knees out. It's counterintuitive to all the, it's good for your heart. You're doing all the running. Blowing your knees. Wow, bravo, man. You rode a bike. That's what's up, Sammy. Why jog when you can hike? My opinion. Then there's the beach. Yeah, I would much rather hike than jog. Exactly, 100%. Get my abs going, get my knees going, get my quads going. Yeah. Okay, let's get off of this and let's talk about this. Can we make a long now? We're a little far away for the 21. It would be kind of nice to ape a long. Right? Back up to the 21-day moving average. Almost looks like it could be, we're very oversold. We sold the short. Do we ape a long? I just want to take a look at it. I'm not going to say I'm going to ape it right now immediately. Just want to take a gander. We need an inverted head and shoulders, some type of double bottom, which seems to be forming on the 1-minute time frame, which is a known reversal. So we're looking for a reversal pattern here for Bitcoin on the 1 minute. We're looking for the 5, the 15 to also get that move. 5-minute looks pretty nice as it approaches the 200 moving average, right? So the goal of this channel, just so you know, is to teach as many people technical analysis as possible. If you use my links and I get to make some cash along the way, I really greatly appreciate that. I had no idea any of these things would happen. I feel blessed. But yeah, and if you want to learn from me and gain more knowledge, go to cryptolifer.com. Okay, I made a beautiful website. It's awesome. Hit the subscribe button. You can learn about me, read about my life, a little bit about who I am, what got me where I'm at today. In the About Me section, we got tools, affiliates that we use, you know what I mean? And right here too, quarterly, basic, or annual subscription. Jump on in today. I'll see you in the Discord. I'm there every single day. You would have got this update Video updates into why I stayed short last night and this morning. Not just like not just a chart thrown at you, but actually like long-term analysis that I've been using for a long time to back it up through video format to show you what I'm doing, right? And that's 7 days a week. Every once in a while, I might just put a chart out because the video is like kind of covered from what we're doing. All right. And we go from there, folks. All right. I love you and I appreciate you all. And I thank you all for being here. Without viewers, there's no channel. And I know that for a fact. So may God bless you all, All right. So let's kind of talk about BTC. Let's talk about what happened. So the first thing that I saw, I went to sleep here looking for the reversal. They got me on the stop, but you made this beautiful right shoulder. And you could kind of tell we were dumping, and we did. And then we went sideways all yesterday. And it kind of looked like we were attempting to reverse. There was a chance, but this kind of made a head and shoulder here, right? And I basically was like, that looks like it's a bear flag that's going to go lower. So to me, I saw what looks to me what is a bear flag. You're on the 15 minute below the 200 moving average, right? Now, at the 15 minute, I got above the 200. That's what you're kind of looking for. About to say, am I upside down? Yeah, sometimes I've been upside down before. I've done a whole entire analysis. It's so crazy. It's not even funny, really, if you think about it. But, I've done that before. And then, wait. And everyone's like, is this guy out of his mind? Because I'm so into TA and into that, that part of the show that, my mind will extrapolate the actual price action, not even realize what's going on, and just stick into, structure. I'll be sitting there, But that's a bear flag for sure. I mean, look at it. And they just tried to short anyone who was because you have to understand, when you're 100x, your liquidation gets closer to price. So a bunch of people wanted to short this with high leverage. And when they had high leverage, their liquidations were really close. And so they went and grabbed those people. If you had just been low leveraged and less greedy and used your stop above the 15 minute, you would have gotten so paid. So see how the humble trader gets paid, but the guy that tries to get greedy gets X'd out every time? And so all it have to do to only, to over time have not all you have to do, but one of the main things you have to do to have a positive portfolio is to be humble, to just slowly go at it one at a time. Like today I made my money, and then just keep doing that slowly. And then when you're wrong, don't lose a lot of money. Don't get into those positions where you go all in with, you know what I mean? Stay calm, cool, and collective at all times. You've got this. You can, you will, you're all the best, man. Like my dad always said, ye of little faith, believe in yourself. Whenever I kind of would get kind of in my head and think life wasn't going well, my dad would say, ye of little faith. He'd say, going to a church, you don't have to go to mass. He's like, you don't have to listen to the priest. He's like, going to a church by yourself, he said. And, you say a little prayer for yourself, man. Help God set you on the right path, That was truly my dad's, Anyway, this looks like a bear flag that was headed down to 60,279. We got to 60,851. A little bit of a bounce now, back to the upside. Can we get the wick? I'm looking to see if it's possible to ape along, right? So far, I would be in the money had I aped along. Nice wick right there to the upside. Let's see. What we'll do is we'll risk just a small amount of what we made and ape the long. You see what I'm saying? We don't have to be right. And we could be completely, and maybe it's probably not the best idea. But it is Wednesday. I like trading on Wednesday aggressively. We tend to get backing on the volume, so if I get a reversal, we tend to get the move. I'm just going to put my stop loss below this, kind of right. Should be kind of right there below that wick, because if that wick gets taken out, And there we go. And we're just going to risk a smaller amount. $200, right? 180. You see? We lose the 180, so be it. And I do this a lot. So if I hit 1,000 on the trade, I take 180. Now, if I hit, watch this. If I hit this trade, I make another 900. If I lose 180, you see what I'm saying? So I'm risking 180 to have a $2,000 a day. You see what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. What's going on? I'm moving the stop loss, not to take profit. Something was going on. All right, there we go. I just like to see the numbers, you know, and the guy taught me the other day, if you move it there, you'll see the numbers. I like that. So I'm going 160 for 920. If I hit this trade, dude, it would be so epic to risk 160 for 920. You see what I'm saying? And when you get on the right side of the trade, trading just starts to feel free. You're not on this like emotional roller coaster. You're not bugging out all the time. Things start to make sense. You know what I mean? Look, you're away for the 21. We know 90% of the time when you pump this hard, you dump back to it. And look at these wicks. If this was the other way around, if this was a pump, we would likely dump back now. Now, what I have seen them is they'll wick up again and try to stop anyone out trying to short, and then they'll dump it. I have seen that. You could wait for this to close. It just looks aggressive today. We're very oversold. You know what I mean? Look, we're already at 40 bucks. We'll see what happens. And again, I'm very likely to lose this trade. I already know. In my mind, this trade already lost. Sam, why would you, you know, I believe every trade could happen. Like, I have faith that it could happen. But I'm already kind of like, it's treachery. You know, today was crazy. You know, you're lucky you made your 1,000. Just let it chill. You see what I'm saying? But we'll go from there. We'll figure this out in a second. I'm going to let that cook. We're going to let that cook. You know, back to the 21. Or we might even just go sideways and make a bear flag. If that happens, I'm not going to lose much. You see, we're just going to go. I'm probably going to be at break even. Then I can flip short. So getting into trades near extremes, also key. Like, it's very unlikely we continue to dump. Maybe we do. It's possible, but it's very unlikely. I've studied this because where the 21 is. Now, it doesn't mean we're, you know, and what if we get into this giant inverted? So it'd be amazing. It could be an awesome, you never know when you get into a trade what the end result of that trade could become. All right, so look, now already flipped bearish down, I mean, or, you know, below the break even point, $33 loss now. So let's see. Let's break this down. Let's see what this does with the bigger picture for Bitcoin, which just kind of happened for BTC. If I cannot put a random line for no reason. Okay. We're going to take a look at the monthly. When you double-click anything on TradingView, it becomes the whole screen. So if you want to double-click the stochastics RSI, then you can look at them. Really nice way to trade or look at something, right? Anyway. All right. Here we go. And we're back up $32 in the long. We're going to see where that goes. So that's good. A little dip and flip. If you're just joining, we just sold a short that I put out yesterday, I believe on the live stream. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I stream so much and I post so much. I can't remember, but I know I did give it out. And I know people knew publicly I was in a big short on the daily. I have a hard time holding long-term trades, especially in this market. So I usually take my gains over at that. You know, my goal is to make $1,000 to $3,000 a day. If I can do that every day, I'm going to be pretty sweet. I'm going to be happy about it. So I've always said that I want leverage trading just to be another stream of income for me. You know what I mean? If it can make 300 to 400, maybe even maybe $1 million a year, that would be great. But I'm just going for an extra, you know, couple hundred grand, few hundred grand a year. If it happens, I'm awesome. I'm happy with it. It has to be, you know, I don't want it to become a headache. I want it to become another stream of income. Understand? And that's how your stream of income should be built. Like, you know, I got some real estate cooking. I got education cooking. I got the trading group cooking. I got my YouTube channel. Many different things, right? And some other side ventures too that I don't always discuss. But you know what I mean? You can't tell everybody every single thing you're doing over there. Hey. But, you know, I want to teach you guys how to make multiple streams of income. How to expand your mind to believe that anything is possible and how to just keep pushing. You deserve to be in the top 1% because you are the best. And then you can give that money to people that deserve it. You know? So look, shoulder, head, right shoulder, still possibly on the table. Even though there's a bit of a dip and all that. It's just a dip. You know what I mean? It's just another day in the trading process. Don't get so emotional over the dumps. What I would do is look at this fear and greed. Last time it was at 5 and 8 was a screaming buy. One of the greatest buys you could make in your entire life, really, as far as I'm concerned. And now you look here at 17. So, I mean, just something to think about, something to pay attention to is all. All right? That's all. 17. All right? Like, my whole point is the shaded region is the greatest time to buy Bitcoin. Really, anywhere from here on. Like, anywhere from... But the darker, the better. it gets into this real dark region, I mean, that's usually a really nice buy for BTC. Okay. You have to do this for yourself. I am not a financial advisor. I've been buying it every time it gets here for the last 10 years. It's played out for me. Okay. I can't tell you what to do. I have some other indicators I match with this to find the bottom. Those indicators have told me that we have bottom. However, the charts and the sentiment are screaming we're going lower. But my indicators that I've been using for a long time are still fighting and telling me the probability is high that we bottom somewhere at 59, 60K. We will see. I don't define anything as reality. Anything could happen. I'm open-minded to all possibilities because that's the realm we live in. We live in a realm of multiple possibilities, a multi-dimensional world, right? So you can't get stuck in one dimension and think this is it. There could be a possibility in another dimension that we're gonna, you know what I mean? I don't want to get into your head real quick, but you know what I'm saying? So because of that, I'm always open-minded. Bitcoin could go anywhere. People, a lot of people don't think, like the old me would say Bitcoin could never do this. Like it could never break down and go all the way to 11,000. The new me, after years of trading, I'd say you never know. 8 years ago, I was so into my biases. No, that can't happen. That would never happen. It could never go to 8,000. You know what? Bitcoin could do anything. If it can go to $1 million, it can go to 8,000. You know what I mean? It's an experiment. I got to be open-minded that I speculated in new tech, and I got to be open to that idea. As I matured in my trading sense, I realized that I wasn't always right. When I was immature and younger in my trading career, I had to be right all the time, right? Because that's kind of how you think as a trader. You got to be right. Because your mind's immature, you're emotionally run, and your emotion tell you're right, so you have to be right. Can never be wrong. And so things that you don't think can happen can't happen, right? As you get older as a trader, you realize that all sorts of things happen that you never thought possible. And you got basically, you got your butt handed to you by the markets. And you eventually realize that anything is possible. I'm still leaning towards a reversal here for Bitcoin, a shoulder ahead and a right shoulder back to the upside. I feel like we're going to dabble here, and we're not going to really start the move till November 1st, somewhere in here. And then in December, and then we could get to possibly 132,000 by January of 2028. This could be, a lot of people are talking about 250K, and, maybe we shoot up out of nowhere with some hyperinflation or something, and Bitcoin just dumped right back down, very close to stopping me out of this. It actually wicked right on my stop, which is kind of crazy. Looks like they may come get me there. Like they're just trying to grab liquidity. I'm like, don't you touch me. Don't you violate me. Kind of want to just remove the stop for a second, see if they wick it down and then wick it back up. Or are they just going to send this puppy down? What I love is you can always grab it again right here. And so there's a battle right here for my stop. I mean, we're so far from the 21. It's very rare that you continue to dump here, but it is what it is. Again, like I say, anything is possible. I've studied the probabilities, but anything is possible. Like, looks like this might still, back to that 15-minute. So I want to see that reverse. Anyway. There's the win right there. I love it. 1,022. We did make it over 1,000. Got in at 62,497. Sold at 60,963. Used $1,800 at 23x leverage. Made 56% of the $1,800, which was about $1,000. I mean, you don't have to be smoking rich to make $1,000 a day. You just have to know how to use leverage to accomplish what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? You just have to know what you're doing. That's all. They still toying with this thing right now? What are they doing to me over here? Over here. Yeah, I don't want to move it anyway. I wanted that to be known. That wick is telling a story here. Really should be below that wick because that's the buy that should protect the position. But I feel like the hunt is so deep there. I may cut this off. It's just annoying right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, already hit the G, and now I'm toying with nothings. Wow, they're really playing with price action, just keeping it, like, flat. And funny, it's been flat a lot, right? Between 10 and 12. Or, or we get action between 10 and 11, but there's been a lot of chop. And that's just summer trading. I've gone through this many times. There's always going to be some summer chop. It is what it is. It's actually a blessing. A lot of people can't handle it, and they trade stupidly, which creates good volatility. You see what I'm saying? And we kind of want to look for that. So, yeah. You got to take advantage of what the market gives you. Don't complain about it. All these people, the market's rigged. So what? Use it to your advantage. So it is rigged. So they go after people. So they stop hunt all the time. You know what I mean? Remember, I was only going to lose 160, and I want to go below my threshold now. So weird, right? When you know you're extended, but they still dump the price action. It's like, well, where is the extension coming from? Like where are you getting this unknown liquidity that's going well below probability, well above the probability that the market usually tames? Like, what's going on there? It's almost, you get annoyed when you study the market for years and when you're in an extreme and they still push into an extreme, because you're almost like, why? Like, how? You know what I mean? Like, how are you still this far from the 1521? I know that's a rarity. You see what I'm saying? I know that's a rarity. Like, you don't usually do that. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, let me finish my top-down analysis. I think it's the caffeine, too. When you're on coffee, you're like, how dare you defy me? You know what I'm saying? Looks like they're going to continue to dump this no love for the bounce here. Kind of crazy. Extremes being non-respected. That extreme tells me I'm on high probability to win a reversal. You know what I'm saying? With this candle will close in 43 seconds. If it closes with the wick, I could use that wick for my next stop. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm down 111. You see how it's tracking me right there? I love that. It's tracking what you're up or down. Then you could put price action on your stop loss or your take profit. I love WEEX. Doing really well, WEEX. Appreciate it, man. It's been a great run this month. So, shoulder, head, right shoulder. That could go further to the downside. If you want to sign up to WEEX, we make it very simple. You just go right here to the pinned comment. I don't know if I actually pinned it yet, but go right there to the pinned comment that I just pinned. It's very simple. All right. And you can hit this link right there, support, and that brings you right to WEEX. And it'll, you can sign up to WEEX right there, and it puts in the referral. You can become part of the Sam Price's WEEX community. And there's also cool incentives too. You know what I mean? Like airdrop positions and all sorts of fun stuff. So, all right, we're flipping back to green. We got the candle close. So I move my stop loss below that position there. It is 200, not what I really wanted, but that's structurally where we should be. I almost got stopped out, but I have my hunch is the reversal has to come or sideways price action. It might still keep hunting us down here. They know everyone can do nothing else but go after the long. Like, they dumped all morning. What else can you do but try a hunt? Kind of puts us all in the same position, right? Oh, well, and there's less volume on the market. So who's doing what? Like, we're all trying to catch a reversal. But there is a lot of late retail that are going to jump into a short now. They love to jump into these shorts right now. They buy red candles. They're emotional right now. They're looking at the 4 hour and the 1 hour, and they're still just a big red candle, and they're freaking out. You see? This is all they see, and they're like, oh, it's going to keep going, and they're aping into these just like they ape into green candles. Same thing, So the probability is that this should be gearing up for the possible reversal. You know what I mean? Even based on that idea, but down 84. It should just massive pump back to the upside. Just go. Send it, baby, send it. Shout out to everybody watching on the channel. We appreciate you. We love you guys. Thank you so much. As I said, go to cryptolifer.com to find out more. Hang out. I don't have any. I'm just going short. Nice month. Love the pocket square. Wait, should I go? Oh, look at the other side. Yeah, like, you're funny. Yeah, it's just a regular glass that I threw some coffee in. Okay. The lemon water. We got to bring back the lemon water. They sell shortbread candles. My Iran would be a good thing. That was all 17. Flag above the 21 5 minute. I just clicked on long. Nah, you got it, man. I really only keeping that long open because when it reverses, we all know it's going to reverse hard and fast. 7 around since 30 on the live. Sam, I've been around since 30 people on the live in the pancake hoodie days. Congrats with the success. You deserve it. And thank you for making me a better trader. God bless you and all on the live. See, this guy's been watching me since 5 years ago, man. We got so many people part of this community. It's continue. See, the community is going to continue to compound as I continue to go live. We have people that come back after 2 years, 3 years, people that are strong, people that have never missed, new people. So this community will continue to grow. So if you want to be part of something bigger than yourself that you know is going to continue to grow, jump on into the Crypto Lifers, man. Shout out to all my beautiful people here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. All right. And say you got yourself mangled and tangled. It didn't work out too well. You know, you tried leverage trading and it wasn't perfect. I mean, you could learn from me and use proper risk management, as I do it every single day. I leverage trade almost every day of my life, pretty much 27 out of 30 days a month. But if you need help, we do have extra help too inside the trading group. Check it out. It's pretty cool what we do. You can join the Discord. You pay your $99, but for an added $300, okay, you could jump on in with my buddy Master Friend, who's going to do 3 extra sessions a week and kind of grind on you and teach you some new stuff that you may have never seen. So jump on in today if you want some extra knowledge or you feel like you need someone to watch over you a little bit. And these for me, this is for a lot of people that are really serious, want to take leverage to a high level. You know, they're less DCAers, maybe more high leverage people. But they're having a little bit of, they know they want it bad, but they're having trouble controlling it. Check it out. This might really help you out. All right. Hit the QR code or the link. All right. Riding since 2021. Where my OG? If you're an OG lifer, put OG in the chat. If you're an OG lifer, put OG in the chat. Let these people know that we're not fly by night here, right? Like, we stay in this chart. You know, the people that follow me for a long period of time. We're not like in and out. We're not here just to kind of, we don't rustle. We don't just take, man. We constantly give here at the channel. It's a really good community. The people are nice to me. As you can see, there's always a hater, of course, but that's just how it is. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. It's actually a blessing. If you don't have a hater, you did nothing with your life. Sad to say. I don't know why, but that's a fact. All right, let's continue the top-down analysis. Let's stay focused on the task at hand. We go to the 2-week chart. I like the 2-week. Now, I've said there's a beautiful bullish divergence here. Doesn't mean we can't go a little lower to accentuate that. And the one thing we don't want to be losing is the weekly 200 moving average. We're going to close below that weekly. Look, shoulder, head, bit of a right shoulder, right? And we close below the weekly 200. Where do you go? You go to the 2-week 200 moving average. I've seen this before. And if you go to the all-time history index for Bitcoin, BTC USD, all-time history index, and you put on that 2-week, you are going to see that we did wrestle with the 2-week 200 moving average before. This won't be the first time. We came very close to it at the bottom of the bear market. We could be doing a very similar piece. What this tells me is 43K, we wouldn't go much lower because this is going to go higher as you come close to it. All right, it's going to kind of get range bound because these prices are higher than those, and as they average in, they're going to pull it up a little bit because this is 200 days of price action divided by 200. That's all it is. It's not rocket science. It's not, it's not magic. And, this could be a shoulder, a head, a right shoulder, and we dump down to the 200. Or we get to like 56, 57, and really, I talked to a retail trader, a guy I know that's bought like 10 grand of Bitcoin. He's in and out. He's not a huge Bitcoin guy. He likes to always get in and add to a portfolio. He builds a stock portfolio. And, he's like, oh, a dump to me is 50,000. So like he'll even recognize a good buying opportunity at 50K, and he's not in Bitcoin a long time. So to me, that could really get a lot of people going. Also, the way the 21 is curving like that, not a great sign. You see what I'm saying? We crossed the 50. I mean, and I'll tell you, we don't bottom until the 2-week chart gets tight in the moving averages. So let me show you what happens. We get very tight here, then we expand. Price action gets pulled away from the 21. That's why today I believe the reversal could happen because, look, when you're away from the 21, you come back to it. Same thing upside down. When you're away, you come back to it. Today, we're on the 15, very far away from the 21. You know, it's likely we come back to it, right? So they stop hunted me on that. They got me on the reversal on that one. Didn't get, you know, I front ran. Next time, I'm just going to wait for the candle to close. It's that risky of a day. So I gave back like 180. It's all right. It's all right. I give you the game for free. Hopium, copium. Love you, brother. This man's doing rocket magic. Okay, sorry, I couldn't stand not being able to put my emojis and have my little star. You're funny, man. Shout out to the Dirty Skirts. God bless you, brother. I take market makers down. My man, Hopium, copium in the house. Yeah. Why don't we just pay you, man, and we'll just take a percentage, you know? Funny, look at the 2-week. If that was a reversal pattern, you would be like, all right, it's a complex inverted head and shoulder, ready to break back to the upside. I mean, that's a $8,000 Bitcoin. It's kind of crazy. Like, anyway, I see it. Maybe the whole world doesn't. Again, I've seen things in TA that that are obvious, and everyone else is talking some nonsense. It's almost like they don't want you to see stuff, because if you did, you would pay it. You would be able to, you would notice what was going on, you know? Anyway. 2-week chart looks like it wants to head down to the 200 moving average, in my humble opinion. It's got descending triangle vibes. And I feel like it just broke the bottom. And this is that descending triangle we've been trading on and off for a while now. There's your measured move, and I mean, it says 28,000. But right there is the 200 week. We got very close to it last time. We basically hit this right shoulder, breaking the previous high of the last cycle, which we're like flirting with right there on the candle bodies. We're actually below it, yeah. 61,000 battling right now for Bitcoin. As I tried to catch a reversal that did not happen on that 15. Try to catch a falling knife over there. Are your monthly long leverage due? Leverage calculation show a little downward movement for liquidation. Scary with the way Bitcoin swings, no? Again, I'm just trying to clean up my name and get it clean up. You're funny. I think Dirty Skirts is like, I think of a truck with the skirts in the mud. I try to keep it clean like that. You know what I mean? So look at that. I mean, that's a breakdown. Like you lost resistant, you know, support right there for sure. Your next spot is 55,000, and then to 46. So somewhere between 48 and 55, it looks like Bitcoin wants to go. I'm not saying it's going to go there for sure, but look at this breakdown. I mean, look at it. Let's be honest with ourselves. And then here we are. Look, shoulder, head, bit of a right shoulder. That looks like it's going to take a dump. The market's telling us something. And then remember that tether dominance looks strong. Look, it wants to come back to 40K. I'm not trying to be an overall bear here. I'm open-minded. I'm just a guy that trades Bitcoin. That says it wants to go lower. Now we're going lower, man. That short looks like it could continue. God bless and massive love. Thank you, man. Yeah. Are you enjoying the stream? I feel that. Fell off a dang cliff today. Yeah, we lost some key areas of support and resistance. And you could see it in the chart. The chart was telling us what was going to happen. There was no like, look, there's a head and shoulder right there. Still time to get into a head short. You see? I could use the $1,000 right now and hedge another short. It looks like I should. It looks like that's going to continue lower. The 3-day does not look like we're going to get a bounce here. I see a head and shoulder right there on the 3-day chart. A measured move takes you to 39.40K. That just is what it is. I'm not trying to be rude here. Just telling you what I see happen. My long-term indicators say that doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? But I got to trade the charts. Not some probability that I put together over 9 years, which has worked. Maybe this time it doesn't. You know what I mean? Which is the stochastics RSI and you know, the fear and greed. But yeah. Native Americans will be having so much fun on oh man. Why do people complain about shorts and not longs? They both make money 100%. Because people get depressed when the market goes down overall. You know what I'm saying? Look, even the 3-day chart is in a bit of a descending triangle here. That's the right side of the head and shoulder pattern. And I know I just tried to call a reversal, but this just looks so bearish to me. Could even curve back down. I mean, maybe it reverses. You never know, but dang. And that's why I shorted yesterday. I saw a head and shoulder here on the daily time frame. You just see it, like, I make it a little better, but shoulder, head, right shoulder there, and looked like we were going to dump. And now look, the stochastics have more room to go down, which to me means there's more dumpage. You see what I'm saying? I mean, they can reverse halfway through, but for the most part, that doesn't look good. They tell you where the momentum is headed, and if we look at the stochastics RSI closely, you can see they have more downward momentum coming. Bearish cross. They usually come down into here. I mean, that says more downside for Sheezy, right? So you know what it's telling me? It's telling me that the 15-minute is going to bear flag. See how, put together what we've already done together. We already started looking at the 15. So we've determined that the market looks bearish and wants to continue lower, in my humble opinion, right? I think we all can decide that's true. We've seen patterns that are continuations to the downside patterns, and we've seen them breaking down. Look, this one even bearishly retested and dumped again on the 12-hour time frame. 8-hour rolled over below the 200 moving average. 8 hours very oversold, says it could bounce there, but doesn't look amazing. Same with the 4-hour. We could kind of curve back down and head below there. And let's just look at price action again right here now. So it looks, I see descending triangles on the big and small time frames. I see head and shoulders all over the place. Bitcoin is screaming bearishness. And see, even this kind of was a descender that lost the sauce here and also wants to go lower. I see it as a complex head and shoulder pattern, like that wants to break down. We're below the 200 moving average again, touching the 21. That's a known bearish position to be in. If you're on the other side of the 21 touching, right, this is a bullish. We would trade this bullish. It looks so obvious when you trade it bullish when you're a bullish trader, right? Look, it looks nice. You're like, oh yeah, we would have traded the 21 above the 200 and went for the gusto. Like, I could easily trade that. It makes perfect sense to me. But why is it so hard for us to, And what I do is you put it like a short, but a long. I mean, like a long, but a short. Flip this upside down, and you can see that's the trade there. You'd even suggest that we could get into it again right now. So now I see more downside. I mean, we lost the trend line. It looks, look, if you flip it upside down, we trade that all day long. So that looks like we're going somewhere. It does say $48,000 Bitcoin. I'm just being honest. That's just what it says. I don't know if that's truly going to happen, but that's what it says. When you trade TA, you don't question TA. You just trade TA. Shoulder, head, right shoulder. I've never seen so much head and shoulder nonsense. Now the 1 hour's away from the 21 moving average. To me, that's just not an unlikely place to dump. Like, we're going to come back there or bounce, and that's what I was looking for in the long. Surprised I didn't catch it with all those red candles. I'm really surprised I didn't get a bounce back to the 21. Almost looks like we need the 5-minute time frame. And so what I'm seeing is the bigger time frames are bearish. They're pressing on the 15. The 15-minute might get gapped away from the 21 a little bigger than it should. If that's the case, the smaller time frames will show us either reversal or continuation. Like, if this just continues here, that's a short down to 59K. Let's take a look at Bookmap. Does it have liquidity below us? It does. Winner, chicken dinner, all the way down to what? 60,350. Telling us a move down to 60K is imminent or more likely than anything else in the market today. All right. Are you enjoying the stream? Show your appreciation and hit that like button. Thank you so much for saying that. It's very nice of you for adding to the stream and adding by using your, you know what I mean? Appreciate that. Are you enjoying? The Nightbot's very nice to us. And every bear market is sector will always pump. That tells you where the money is going 100%. And right now, we're still seeing some tokenization and privacy. Actually, not privacy really, but tokenization, some type of privacy. You know? I have a buyback at 40. Yeah, nobody's laughing at anybody about their capital. 48K incoming. It does look like we may go lower, folks. So very oversold 15-minute time frame. Like extremely. Like has me like, come on. You know, you're either going to bear flag back to this 21 somehow. But it does tell me we're going lower. You know, we've made our statement. Shout out to Rave Song Records. I'm a successful long-term investor. However, I joined Sam of the 99 to learn how to properly lever trade and short. The education and community worked. Thank you. God bless you, man. I appreciate it. And you didn't have to give, but you did. $19.99. Not only has he been in the group and learned from the education that he paid for as he invested in himself, but he's also invested in us by giving back here today. Like when he does that, this is a man, an older man who's successful, who joined my group, kind of mentors me in a way. He's a really nice guy. And he decides to send $20 of his hard-earned money to the channel. I think that should tell you something about my channel and about the integrity we have here at CryptoLifer.com. Okay? So, wow, I mean, I just sold right around this area. Remember, I sold that massive wick. We bounced back up. And, you know, when things are moving like this, you need the smaller time frames. The smaller time frame, the better. I moved to that 3-day. The 3-day looks like it's collapsing and a descending triangle yet again. Headed down to that $60,370 level. Could double bottom here. Be careful. I sold the short already. Then I tried to ape along. Now I'm kind of sitting out right now. Kind of just waiting. All right. The aim is to stop the market maker continuously taken from the lifers. No more. Exactly. Wait, I see 5649. Yeah, if it loses 6,008, we are nuking. Here we go. It looks like we're going to head lower down to 60,379 here for Bitcoin. Time to get away from the charts and make a movie. My man. He's sold, but 5 minutes before he long. I don't get it. He's sold, but I don't know my guy. Hey, man, just keep showing up. Maybe you'll figure it out. And if you don't, no worries, brother. Not everyone's reality is everybody's reality. I hope, you know, I hope to get through to as many people as I can on the show. But I can't force everybody to learn my styles, right? I think most people can get a handle on. I think I can teach 90% of people, man. I think I'm one of the best teachers out in the game. But hey, I see it from the testimonials. So many people learn from the stream. And definitely a tough day to be in altcoins right now. You know, you don't want to be all in on altcoins for sure. You know, not at all. Let's take a look at tether dominance and see what's happening. Let's finish. So the 2-week chart. Bearish. Yeah, we went through it all. Yeah, the daily looked bearish. Look at that daily head and shoulder pattern. And we told you, man. You know, open up a head short on the daily in case it takes a massive dump. You'll be set. I told you put a stop loss right there. You're in the money right now. What you do now with this head short is up to you. Whether you put the stop loss to break even, whether you take profits on this first run, whether you take a partial. I can't tell you what to do, but I can give you beautiful entries. I can't tell you when to sell, but I can tell you exactly when I decide to get in and where I put my stop loss. And then I can show you how I put my stop loss to break even and how I cover the trade. I want to show you how I make the trade risk-free as soon as humanly possible. Look, that's just trendline trading too. It's also a symmetrical triangle, right? And they break down most of the time. 50%, but I see them more. And in a downtrend, they dump all the time. I was looking for the reversal. They eventually convinced me they were going to dump. Remember, I tried along here, along there, and along there. I got stopped out of break even a couple times even, and I said, okay, you're not going to get it. I'm going to have to short you. You know, you're telling me what I got to do. I got to do what I got to do. 1 minute looks like it's in a descending triangle. It's just what I've learned lately. Like Bitcoin dumps on descenders and head and shoulders. It pumps on Adam and Eve's. It could be an Adam and Eve. It's attempting an Adam and Eve. You got to get it, though, and then back to the, and then you got to cross the 200 on the 1 minute. Then and only then can we begin a possible reversal. What I've learned is as this is happening, you can front run the 4-hour or the daily green candle if it has a wick, but you're high risk doing this. Lower risk if you wait for us to cross the 200. However, you'll miss about half of that daily or 4-hour candle as it reverses. You have to ask yourself if you're okay with any of this. All right? Exactly. You know what I mean? So there you go, okay? Yeah. Okay, can you check WOW, please? Mike, dump right now. We'll take a look. Yeah. 40K incoming. Cherry City Bullies, man. He's got that. I think you still got a massive short going, right? I learn something new every day from life. Or you too, man. You sound like, I feel like you don't need me, man. You sound like so intelligent. You got your own little... You know, I meet people that I think are so much better traders than me. And they tell me they learn and I help them and I'm like always amazed. You know, hedge fund managers come up to me at, you know, social events. I've been at parties at millionaires' houses and a hedge fund manager came, I watch you every day. I run a hedge fund out of London. I'm like, are you serious? He's like, I love your approach to the market. Like how you see things. I'm always amazed by that. Yeah, so we need, you know, I say more downside here for Bitcoin. The daily is collapsing. We you know, another head and shoulder pattern. Like, so again, technical analysis plays out yet again. I saw one of my buddies longing last night, and I'm wondering why. When I could see the probability just wasn't there. You know what I mean? But anyway, I don't know. I'm not always right. It could have went the other way. Who knows? This looks like it's headed down to 60,350, 250 even. I mean, look at it. It's a descending triangle. As we have to do, man, these small time frames. I cannot believe how bagged the 15-minute is right now. Look at the 15-minute. I don't know when I last saw that. That's insanity. I guess right there, you know what I mean? Like I mean, that's just heavy selling. So it was heavy selling followed by chop, 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 chop. Head and shoulders inside of the chop. They wicked up one more time to get as many people as they could out. And they sent it to the down. Remember these wicks. Whenever they wick up, a rejection of the 200 moving average too. You know what I mean? My favorite part of the stream is when Sam prays. God bless you, man. Thank you. Hey, dear Lord, thank you for everyone here on the stream. Thank you. God bless everybody here. Look, we have 1,090 beautiful souls here on the live. And because when that dump happens, people want to come to the stream that was telling you guys what was happening before it happened, right? I'm not here like at the end, jumping into a short at the end of the red candle. I'm saying, hey, man, I was short. You guys, I told you to hedge this. Again, I can't tell you what to do with your money. I am not a financial advisor, but you can't say I didn't tell you to hedge. It didn't look good. The probabilities were against us for a move to the upside. It was highly likely we weren't going to win those longs. You have to bow out. You have to know when to bow out. That's what I'm learning the most about becoming, you know, if you want to become successful as a trader, you got to learn when to bow out. Can't force it. Okay? And remember, you got nothing to prove to anybody. I have nothing to prove to anyone on the show. I just want to be here to help and stream with you guys. That's all. If the information I give you helps you, so be it. All right? I'm not claiming to be a know-it-all, you know. And I'll tell you what, there's smarter traders than me. There's better traders than me. There's quicker traders than me. There's people that know more than me. Okay? But they'll never outwork me. Okay? I will be here constantly every single day. A little bit of bull div now coming in, and that's what we want to start seeing. We want to see bull div and possible reversal here. Telling you, when you're away from that 21, there's going to be that, usually that, I'm pissed I got kicked out of that because there's that fast money coming. You're either going to go sideways on this 15 and continue the dump, or you're going to have to come. I don't see how we could continue to dump right now. That's just too, the probabilities are low when the 21's that far away. So we look for the 5-minute to reverse price here off bullish divergence and some type of inverted head and shoulder. The 30-second, the 5-second has to get back above the 200 moving average. You'll see a little flag here, just, you know what I mean? They'll do the same stuff that we see on the 1 minute. Like that, bang, that's got to break out. An ascending triangle on the 5-second chart. Yes, I'm on the 5-second. Sometimes you need the smallest, because this is what's going to, isn't this crazy? But I learned the nuances of trading. First thing you'll do is you'll break above the 200 moving average on the 5-second chart. Then you'll break above the 200 moving average on the 30-second chart. Then you'll break above the 200 on the 1 minute. Okay, then you'll break above the 200 on the 3 minute. Then you'll break above the 200 on the 5 minute. All this will have to happen today if we get a reversal. What will be happening too on top of that is you'll be getting a tweezer bottom on the 1 minute that will continue to move up. This candle closes in 47 minutes. This one would have to flip green and become the big boy. It may not happen just now. You also want to see if there's a 4-hour green candle. Look at that dump, man. It was one green. It was one massive candle on the 4-hour. Also, look, a bear flag there on the 4-hour time frame. Bear flag, right? With a measured move. Suggests that we could go lower there. So now what? What do you do? Well, you got to watch the small time frames. Now, I know I just threw a lot at you. If you're new, you're going to be juggling the 30-second. That's probably you're going to be all over the place. You're probably not going to be that good at it. Trading is very similar. Let me teach you something about trading. Your mind is here, and your mind's divided into your conscious and your subconscious mind. You have two parts of your brain. Okay, and as you sit there and you move through price action, you're going to start taking in money, your mind, price action into your conscious charts that you're watching. Times you got stopped out, times you won trades, and then it's going to slowly bleed into your subconscious. Now, if you don't put a lot in your brain, now, if you do the charts, but then you also watch a bunch of nonsense on TV, this and that, and you fill your brain with a bunch of other stimulation, then of course the charts aren't going to be just a piece of your subconscious. But if you're like me and you do it 7 days a week, and you do it 5 to 6, 7 hours a day, and you just keep training your brain, your conscious brain, you keep feeding it charts, what will happen is it'll bleed to your subconscious. Eventually, your subconscious mind will have so much data, and it will get better at organizing the data. So you got your conscious and your subconscious. Now, a trader that I just met, you don't know how to organize as much data in your subconscious mind right now because you haven't done what I've been doing. You got to start the process. This is why AI will do whatever it can, but once you even program AI and do it, you're never going to really figure out what's happening. You won't be able to get out of a jam. You won't be able to figure out how to get the bot out. Almost every bot eventually will get itself into some type of trouble that you'll have to kind of program it way out or have to mitigate. I'm telling you, nothing is easy in trading. It's not simple. You got to work at it. So what I do for this channel is you're really going through my subconscious mind. That's what you get to do when you come here. I've done this for years, and you get to kind of see a picture of inside. Now, it doesn't mean I'm right every day. It doesn't mean I'm perfect. I never want to make that claim or act that way. I just want this to be a channel where you might see something completely different than any other channel. Completely unique. Like, you can't get the TA from anywhere else that you can get here. Okay? And I know that because I program my mind in such a unique way. It would take years for someone to replicate my brain. It's just not going to happen. So, and I'm sorry to talk about myself. I don't mean to be rude. I just want to talk about the product. The product is the live stream. The live stream is my subconscious mind. Okay? And I work so hard to curate it and to really bend. And I don't put a lot of other stuff in my brain. I stick to my subconscious mind. You know what I mean? All the time. So that, anyway, and that's also how you train your brain to be good at anything. And that, carpenters do this. Iron workers do this. Even cab drivers do this. Anyone who does something daily. You ever see cab drivers just know when someone's going to move ahead of them before they even do it? Because you're just so in tune to the trade, right? So now what? You talked a lot, Sam. You gave us a bunch of gibberish about yourself, about this and that. Did you give us anything about trading? Can we actually learn something, Sam? No, you can. I believe you can. I generally believe you can. We're looking for this to do some type of Adam and Eve. All right, we're looking for a reversal here on the smaller and the bigger time frame. I don't want to leave it naked. You're very extended. When I say extended, I mean the indicators we use are like kind of at their wit's end. Like they're beat up. Like there's a bull div here still on this 5-minute time frame. You're swinging down, but you're swinging up here on the RSI. That's what's called a divergence. Bullish is on the bottom. Bearish is on the top. A bearish divergence, okay, is when price action goes to the upside, but the RSI goes to the downside. That is bearish divergence. Bullish divergence is when price goes down, but the RSI moves up. That's bullish divergence. You only draw bearish on the top on the top. You only draw bearish on the top and the top. See how the RSI was sloping down while price sloped up? That told you you're going to dump. See how price is sloping down while RSI is sloping up? That we should be getting some type of reversal from there. See how we're attempting to dig in yet again? I've got a mind to aim at this again. So let's kind of go back to what we learned. The 1 minute could still dump us. It looks pretty bearish. And it very well may. We're seeing if we can get this kind of some type of Adam and Eve reversal here. There's always a bullish and a bearish scenario at play. Can you see both and take the best probability when one gets an edge over the other? Like if this starts, like for instance, technically you should short this now based off probability, but if it gets up here, that's a long with a stop loss below the point of control. Because now you got an Adam and Eve that has a 68% chance of a break back somewhere to 62.15, 150. But like, you don't know that unless you've been doing this, right? So we watch to see if we can get in the Adam and Eve reversal. Okay. And then, so now we have the 1 minute. We know the 1 minute, and then the 1 minute would get above. The 5 second would crack the 200 moving average, which it did. Kind of an inverted head and shoulder there, not amazing. And now if you're just really curious, like, you don't have to trade this stuff. But if you want to know as much as I do, and you love it as much as I do, like, you want to see us break the 30-second 200 now. You could break this all out on 10 charts and watch it successively break through the 200. It's actually a beautiful thing. So cool to watch. And it's like, then you feel like you have some control because the market's doing what you know it should do. And that's actually when you start to feel, well, that's when it's fun. When the market just does whatever and you're not really sure, you're along for the ride, you're a leaf on the stream. But when you feel like you're the creator of what happens because you're seeing the reality, you're like, all right, it's supposed to do this and it does this. That changes things. That's when you know you're kind of gaining an edge. What's up with this solemn music? I got to skip this one. I don't know why this track comes up and it's like, it just ends with like this, like, are you putting me to sleep away? Oh, and I didn't play Dream. I got to play Dream. I love Dream. Oh, man, I don't wanna sleep. Hard dreams. I don't want to sleep. Oh, sleep. I don't want to sleep. I don't know what he's saying. I just think I do. I don't want to sleep. Song's called Dream. Yeah, look, we could get this kind of slanted Adam and Eve here, back to the upside. If you know what an Adam and Eve double bottom is, you have it basically looks like this, and you could Google all this stuff. You could Google an Adam and Eve double bottom. I always type in trading just to kind of give it some more context to help it out. But it's beautiful, and then you'll see, like, what is Sam talking about? Funny, I'll never forget, I was on a trading show like 2 years ago, and I said something about and like no one knew what I was talking about. And I realized I was like more old school than more, you know what I mean? But there's your Adam and Eve here. Sometimes it's backwards, it's kind of rounded here then. And they don't have to be perfect. You know how that one's a little higher or a little low, you know what I mean? See that? Sometimes it could be a little lower, but you're looking for, you know, it could be an even Adam or an Adam and Eve. I've seen them both. A lot of times there's a handle on the Adam and Eve. There's a little handle here. I've been seeing it more than ever. This is the pattern site, man. This place will teach you so much information about patterns. The pattern site, Bukowski. You confirm how much the measured move should be. All right. There, a triple bottom, which is an inverted head and shoulder, technically. You know what I mean? And you'd be surprised how this might play out. And knowing this information gives you an edge because you can see what people can't. You know probabilities that they don't understand even exist. I love when people say pattern traders have no idea. You know, it's like, it's so funny to me because I'm like, okay. See, there's the reversal I was looking for. Do I chase again? We are far from the 21. I'm supposed to win that. I was supposed to win the first one. You know what I mean? I'm supposed to win the first one. Why did I not win the first one? Do I have more fire? Do I go at this again? Let me take a look. I mean, the kind of an Adam and Eve here. I know we're away from the 21. We should get some type of bounce. Daily doesn't look good, so this is a scalp only. The daily doesn't look good. It's a scalp only, but we're really far from that 21-day moving average. You see what I'm saying? Dang, I missed out. I gotta, it's tough. Just where I was last time, same idea here. Now, if I go in this time and I get hit off, I'm done. I'm not going to chase anymore. But man, the odds are it goes sideways or back to that 21. 21's even pretty close to the 200 moving average. Still it's gonna be a smaller trade. Dang. They're so sneaky with it. Like, I could stare at it all day and they still somehow slid it past me. I mean, I know it's high risk too because the 1 minute did not get above the 200 yet. 127 for 450. I'm not giving back all I made today, but they're gonna. That's too far for the 21. I should be able to get paid on that idea alone. You know what I mean? That simple idea. Close the tweezer top. Let's get it. That's so oversold, it's ridiculous. Like, how planted can you get on the stochastics RSI and the RSI? You know, high probability reversal there. It's telling me that I should be taking that trade based on technical analysis and positioning. Nothing to do with my emotions. I don't feel like I'm over trading that. You know? It's $900 at 23x leverage. It's not a huge trade. 18,000. Anyway, let's see. Let's see where that goes. What did I just do with that? There we go. All right, put that over there. Bring back Bookmap. Bookmap still says we go lower too. It's got liquidity below us. 61,000 has been a pain in the butt right now. Maybe it's not even worth playing around. You know, I could just wait for the 15-minute to come back to that 21. That's what I believe has to happen. So either we reverse or we continue to dump somewhere down to 59,000, or this reverses back to the 21. It's like you got two choices. I just don't see how you continue to dump right now when you're that oversold on the 15-minute time frame. It's rare. Very rare. Like a good piece of steak, baby. So let's take a look at the 1 hour time frame and see what's happening. Any coin defying at Aave kind of pumping regardless. Telling you, you know, stable coin pumping regardless. Actually put out something for stablecoin recently. We've been looking at lit. SEI was sideways, but then did that stop hunt. Aerodrone's been hot. Juke's been on the radar, and Jitto. It's enough to actually cover right now. Let's take a look at Stable and Aave. I had a setup for Stable not too long ago. Let's look at Stable here. So yeah, Stable's just been staying in this tight flag, which has me, okay, you know, it's like, okay, it's interesting. I'm not saying it's going to pump for sure. Let's take a look at the daily and the 21. The daily and the 21 are close. It tells me there's a chance this thing pumps. I don't love, the structure isn't like amazing, you know, but it isn't dumping with Bitcoin. Seems to do whatever it wants regardless of the market. And it looks like there's a 5 and 8/10 of a penny target there. Yeah, that's on the radar. I would pay attention to this. Stable. And I would have this kind of mapped out a little bit. It's completely up to you, but this is definitely something I would have on the radar. Right? Stable. It's been in an uptrend, you can see. Higher lows ever since it came out in December. And it doesn't seem to care what the rest of the market is doing. You want to look for anomalies. There are 5,000 coins. One coin is doing damage. You got to start thinking that's strange. Damn, they're about to hunt me again on this. This is becoming the never-ending hunt. And again, the second I take away from it, it's going to rip again. You know what I mean? But that's okay. Be happy with my 800 now. I keep getting chipped. Look at that. They tried to get me out again on that. Wow, what volatility on the 15. This is crazy. And then you go back to the small time frames and say, I guess they're going to keep dumping us and defying the 15-minute 221 moving average, which is odd. Like, this is like, I've done this for a long time, folks. Thousands of days. It's very rare you get this many red candles and you're that far from the 21. Very rare. I feel like I've been saying a lot of this stuff recently. Like, a lot of rarities have been happening. A lot of strange behavior. It's likely going to stop me out at this point. Like, how the heck do you go from a massive green candle like that to get wicked out? It's kind of crazy. If that goes all the way back up, I'd be very surprised. The oversold. Look how oversold we are. This is nuts. Like, where are the sellers? Show me the sellers, folks, please. Because I can't find a seller. I mean, like, who else is selling right now? You know, good day to buy some Bitcoin, right? Good day to buy a little spot BTC, for sure. I like the fear in the heavy dumping. Whenever we see dumping, I'm buying more Bitcoin. So let me head over to spot. Just do what I got to do. It's a discipline of mine. I don't care if we go to 30K, 20K, wherever we go. It doesn't matter to me. I got to buy more Bitcoin. You know what I mean? I got to do the right thing for my kids. $1,500, buy BTC, right? I got to buy these dumpy days, man. I can't be buying the pumps, right? And so there we go. That should go down to 1,000. I had 2483, maybe even 9 something. 983. There you go. So I buy more BTC. Understand? Head and shouldery on the... I mean, it looks so whack. Anyway. That's what you got. That's what I do. I DCA into Bitcoin long term with a 10-year plan. And I'm not going to go sell that Bitcoin that I just bought in 2 years, not 3 years, not 5 years. That's a long-term idea. All right? And that's the whole point. All right? Shout out to all the people following me on X, at CryptoLifer33. I greatly appreciate it. We're putting a lot of effort in to all the socials. I don't know if you noticed, but we're constantly posting information, ideas, tips, tricks, videos, scripts. Like, I am so active all the time, constantly putting out information. And the information is actually pretty awesome, too, on all different... I'm not just posting garbage, man. It's really pertaining to what you want to hear, what you want to know as a trader. Check it out. We've ramped up the social media presence in the last 2-3 months, like you would read about. So we went hard. The market got soft. We went hard. You know, we're not backing down here at Crypto Lifer. It's not what we do. So I'm done. I got chipped off again. I'm done chasing the bottom. If it pumps again, so be it. I'll catch a flag later on the next day. I'm done trying to catch it. I can see what's going to happen, and I know we're extended, but they're getting me in the wrong places, so I'm going to stop. I know myself, and I'm going to stop. That's it. I'm not giving back. You know, now I'm only up, what, 700? I gave back about $300. So I don't want to give back anymore. I'm done. I'm done. I can't believe we didn't reverse since, you know, I can't believe that didn't win, that didn't, you know. I know in the next half an hour to 2 hours, we're either going to go sideways and continue to dump. We're going to reverse. We're too far from the 21-day moving average, but somehow, some way, they continue to plow this puppy down. It is pretty bearish what's happening today. So there's a pretty heavy sentiment of bearishness. Another red 50-minute candle in a row. That's insane. I could say I don't know if I've ever seen that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. If this closes, and you know, that'll be, but right there, that's confirmed 11 straight 50-minute candles to the downside. Still pretty close to where I sold the initial trade in that wick, though. After all this, you know what I mean? Like, walked away, like, okay, the divergence is still here. And again, I guess you switch to the smaller time frames and have to just kind of bend the knee that they're going lower. Look, that's a head and shoulder right there on the 1 minute. What it also tells you is that's no Adam and Eve now. You know, it was trying to do an Adam and Eve. No way. The bulls didn't even have enough structure. Looks like we're going lower. Yeah, 770 now, 762, the lower we've been since the stream began. That was the first low, 60,850. And divergence is only as strong as like that bounce there to the support and resistance level or to a point of control. That's what I found in my life. You'd be surprised, but it's not that strong. Not at all, right? Man, there she blows. And look, there's look at the head. The head and shoulder will just, it's your friend. Look, shoulder, head, right shoulder. Shoulder, head, little right shoulder there. I don't make this stuff up. You can see it right there. Like, it's obvious. It's telegraphing you what it wants to do. It's not making reversal patterns. It would have to make this pattern upside down to get us to go back to the upside, folks. It's not going to do it on its own. Price action needs an actual catalyst to get a move, which is actual market structure. Patterns are how price moves. Just like, you know, if you have a stream and the water has to go through the stream, like, it can't, like, the stream is the pattern. That's where price action can move. That's how it moves. Look, we would just keep extending these and they would just keep going down. That's what I've learned. Like, this will just keep bleeding out until it doesn't. Remember a few weeks ago, descending, just keep feeding the fire. Until it can make some type of, like, or here it could be an inverted. Like, we got, you know, and that's why I wait till we get above the 1 minute to really catch a reversal. It's almost better just to trade that than anything else. Lately, I've been more addicted to catching the daily and the 4-hour reversals because they're fun. Once you get in, you get to kind of wake up in the money. Like, you catch that bottom, and you really do catch the bottom. Wow, though, they you know, again, they still didn't take out the low that my indicator tells me is the low, but we'll see. I mean, this is pretty brutal. What if they fake it back up and then they were, you know, it's just crazy. I figured we were going to go to the 4-hour. I figured when we were here, the 4 hour was headed to the 200 moving average with high probability. Still could happen, but they're faking it out for sure. And I could tell you, even when my system tells me, hey, it's you know, stop. Don't overtrade. A lot of people keep trading my $1,000 to zero. I got to catch it. I got to catch it. Don't get obsessed with being right. That can wreck you in trading. Don't be obsessed with being right. Stop that. That's bad behavior. I'm telling you, some things you got to stop. Some things you can't keep. You can't keep doing them. You got to get a handle on what you're, you know, you got to slow it down. You got to just trade what you see. I have a feeling this 15 minutes going to reverse. I'm going to miss it now. I tried 2 times in a row, man. I think one day I did do 3 and I hit the 3rd for big money, but. All right, I want to take a look at some altcoins too and see what's happening in the altcoin world. 1 second here. My mouse is falling off the table here. Let me get it nice and positioned. Kept doing that recently. Can't believe I live stream sitting down now. So strange. I was always at my stand-up desk for so long. Also separated the channel because I was always standing. I like that. You know, we still might get some type of inverted head and shoulder here to save the day. Or we're going to wiggle down and continue to dump. I say we have about 20, a hold shift to go sideways. With the plus sign on, it won't work without it. About 35 minutes before we know exactly what's going to happen, or we just continue to dump. Shout out to everybody here on the live, and we get to say it again. Who made gains with the on the live stream, or who's already in gains? Who made gains from the Discord? Who figured out how to make gains? Is anyone up in a nice short right now from what they learned with me, from the education that they've obtained, or just from their own idea? If strategy and arbitrage play is supposed to be at 100, glad your foot's getting better. Thanks for the knowledge. Well, what happens to strategy when it goes below 100? The dividend goes up. So if it goes down to $80, the dividend almost doubles, right? Something like that. So people kind of wanted to go down because they want the cash flow. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to stay pegged. Honestly, no. I don't know. I don't. No, not technically arbitrage. No. From what you're saying, I would say no. But I like your idea, and I know what you mean. But because of the dividend, I would say no. You know. I want to post stable to the trading group before I forget. Inside the altcoin section here. And again, Bitcoin, you never know. It can ruin the show too. So I always post altcoins within a grain of salt there on that idea. Don't mean to laugh, but man, you know, too far from the one and it just doesn't matter, right? Sellers lining up around the block. I know, right? Been on a short 3x leverage since Sunday. I love it. Been in a short since Monday based off your strategy. God bless you, Ricky Pastana. Thank you, Ricky. Wow, a lot of people are short of what I taught him. Gains from the Discord, Sam. Shout out to Urwick. God bless you, man. Synapse is giving profits on a dump. Thank you, sir. God bless you. Neighborhood helper, man. God bless you, bro. 101 bussing. Long and spot rat. You're funny. Don't get pay. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, we don't want that. Peggy. Peggy, man. That guy's hilarious. I'm gonna make you my Shimamoto. I can't. Dude, I liked the idea. It looked interesting in that little flag there, right? On the 1 hour. Look at that. It was getting tight. As I put an alert, it pumped a little bit. They're doing this a lot recently. Like, there's no liquidity, so they just make a nice pattern. They see if anybody will take it. Whoever takes the pattern, they just go and grab everybody. And then it's so weird, man. It's like, it's corny when the market's slow because it's like obvious. It's like so obvious what's going on, This might still play out, though, now that they've done the dip. You see? So this is what I'm about, is just kind of keep tracking it. What the market maker isn't ready for, or the market, whoever you want to call, whatever you want to call leverage, you know what I mean? They're not ready for someone who's extremely relentless. Most people are relentless up until a point. They're going to give up. If you have a level to yourself that's higher than the average person, you're just going to end up with millions of dollars, folks. Just get your energy up. Start working out every day. Get your mind going. Start a business you can work 7 days a week. If you start working out every day and you start a business 7 days a week, man, there's just no chance. I don't see how you can't. You won't be able to lose. They won't be able to stop you. You know what I mean? You'll be on point every single time. I'm doing the you know what I mean thing. I do that too much. You know what I mean? But it's true. And that's a way to separate. Everyone's like, how do I become successful? I want a different life. Well, find out something you love and keep doing it. Every single day to the point of no return. And do it way more than do it to the point where it hurts almost. I get up and I get on this microphone and I set up the live stream. I've done it thousands of times now, 2,000 some odd times. I've sat here and done this. And it feels like I'm getting on an old horse sometimes. I'm like, I saddle up, I get the mic ready, and I'm like, man, here I go again for my 2,000th and some odd live stream, right? Some would say boring, some would say crazy. Some would say insane. There's a lot of adjectives to put to that behavior. But you know what it did breed? It bred a life of success. Even if, forget the money, my kids see how hard I work, it's going to have a good effect on them over time. All right? So even if you're creating just the proper behavior in the house, all right? Appreciate you, Sammy, your time and your words of advice, 100%, and become a family man. All right? It's really important, folks. But let's talk about, really quick, just give me 2 minutes to kind of talk about a town. Let's just say there's a little town of 200 people, which is 50 couples. No, 40, 100 couples. And they all decide to each have 2 kids. All right? So it's 100 families, and there's 400 people. And let's just say half of these get divorced, and the men sleep with other women, and there's kids from different women, and you have this mix. And some of it works out. Some guys, and then it's all, you know what I mean? No one knows who's who, and no nuclear family, and then the other one, no one does that. The families all stay nuclear. Each family is its own unit. It's like, which, I mean, you could say this one procreates faster, going to have more people, and actually may be able to create more. I'm open-minded. But which one over time creates a stronger foundation for a growing society, right? So I always think about this in my mind. So I hope my channel creates as many, strong nuclear family men out there as possible to create a beautiful nuclear family, man. And that means being a family man, being true to your wife, right? You can't cheat on your wife and be a good family man. It doesn't work. Eventually your desires will take over and you won't be able to get, you know what I mean? You won't be able to get rid of them. So, anyway, those desires will get in the way of your finances and in the way of your business. So to be a successful businessman is to be a successful family man. Once I became fully family, you see what I'm saying? All in on being a family man, my finances exploded because I had no more distractions but my kids and my wife to be there for. Look, I mean, they made a descending triangle. They're telling you they want to go lower. 3-minute is being caressed by the 21 to the downside. All this is telling me is the reversal will be even more insane. I mean, that's nuts now. How flush that is at the 15. Thoughts on DEGEN and the pump it's on? DEGEN's on a pump right now? You mean the dump it's on? I mean, yeah, it came up from here. I talked about it right there, and I went over it. I like DEGEN. I had it for a long time. Seemed like this was some talk about a coin named DEGEN that was going to be like the next thing, and there was like this lore about it on the internet. I don't know if you got, I got whiff of it. I think enough people did, and it created some, I don't know if they wanted to create this persona of, you know, and maybe it has to bounce here, and, you know, maybe this Bitcoin dip is just making it go sideways, then it continues up. It's in a beautiful uptrend. I like the coin. I still hold some of it, so we'll see what happens. I always believed in it because it's connected to Coinbase, the DEGEN train, you know, and base chain. So Sam, it's not the men cheating in divorce. 85% of divorce and infidelity is done by the woman. Sad facts. Dang, I'm sorry to hear that. I did not know that. I don't want to blame anybody. All I want is a more nuclear family around the world, man. I'm not saying, you know, crazy stuff doesn't happen from regular families, but the odds are better that the person's going to be more well-rounded. All right. Says Bitcoin trying to make a double bottom of the 4-hour time frame. What? With red candles? What do you mean? Hold on. I'm confused by that. Oh, a big one here? I get, yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, that's the hopium copium. Wow, 60,006. So we dropped from 63 all the way down to 60,000 now. Unbelievable. I sold like 60,900, right? Get your dollars ready. I'm getting all in time. Bitcoin trying to make a double bottom of the 4, right? Yeah. It's outpaced on the Ethereum network, and it's a run through the Coinbase ecosystem, which is really the Ethereum blockchain. Yeah, it's true. At the end of the day, it all has its origins back to ETH. Wow, what a dump. What a dump for Bitcoin. Unreal. Shout out to all the beautiful people here watching the dump live. And if you were on my stream yesterday, you would be prepared for this dump easy to the downside. Wow, it wants to continue lower, folks. Take no prisoners on this 15-minute time frame. Unbelievable. The stochastics is a flat line now. It just lives in a flat space. That's nuts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Like, oh my gosh. Yeah, and it did make a descending triangle right there. We did kind of call that out. We could see it. You know, we said Adam and Eve are descending. It chose the descender. And so I could, you know, feeling like a failure, but never giving up. You can't. It's not easy. You know, this is one of the hardest games in the world. You know, a lot of people are showing up back into crypto now. A lot of people are saying, hey, I want to watch Sam's stream because last time I was watching Sam, Bitcoin was 126,000. And it was a bit overbought. And it was a bit too crazy. Now, I want to watch Sam's stream because it's, you know what I mean? It's right where it needs to be. Bitcoin is a beat up asset right now. People are more looking to get in when it's beat up. 100%. You know what I mean? And that's smart. So I buy when we're in heavy pain. You're still in that trade from yesterday, Sam. No, I sold it on the live stream. If you were here, yeah, I thought you were watching since the beginning of the stream. Wow, they're sending this thing further to the downside. If I was still in the trade, I'd be making even more money, man. And that's Bitcoin Bill likely giving the memberships like he does every single time. I don't know how you... What a giver, man. Look at that. And look at that. I love watching that thing move around the screen there. That's really cool. And shout out to all the new members who jumped on in today and became new members. We appreciate you more than you would ever know. Thank you so much. Dude, this thing is continuing to roll over now with just no end in sight. We've been dumping the entire stream. That's rare. 2 hours of straight dumpage for Bitcoin. It is bloody, bloody, bloody. Can't unsee that monthly head and shoulders. That's what I'm saying, man, and I've been saying it for a long time. $6.8 billion in ETF outflows. Yeah. Thank you for what you do, Sam. Bitcoin Bill, I don't know who you are or what you're doing, But God bless you, man. I want to say something. I shouldn't say something, but keep it to. Always got to keep things to myself, I think. But yesterday I was very generous. You know what I mean? I was out to dinner. I saw the waitresses working real hard. I thought about the waitress's life. I'm like emo. Like I transcended. Like I knew she was from another country. She looked like she was working hard. You know what I mean? She had to move around. She had to watch out not to get burnt. She was dealing with hot dishes. She had to move past people's heads with hot things. Like her job was hard, man. It wasn't easy. And I saw her doing a great job of it, keeping a good spirit. And I said, man, may God reward her, man, through me. And so, she got blessed yesterday. And I'm not going to say exactly how or why, but know that the $100 you're giving back to me is huge, man, because it represents the money that I give away. And you do the same to me, which I find amazing. And every time I give money away, it comes back to me tenfold. I'm telling you right now. If I give $200 away, I get $2,000 back somehow, some way. It happens every single time. I'm telling you, like with hard faith, I give, and give. And givers gain every single time. The more you give, the stronger you are telling the universe you are. It's an affirmation of spirit and confidence. And therefore, you gain that actual attraction back because you're saying, hey, I attract greatness, wealth, and abundance. So much so that I can actually let it drift from my hands. I don't hold it close. I don't die with my money. I'm always giving. I'm in a state of abundance all the time. It's a state to be in. Being successful is not a holding state. It's a moving state. It's a state where you're constantly giving out and you're constantly receiving back. The second you get tight with it and you stop giving, you stop receiving. It's like you stop the chain. You're trying to become part of a bigger process by aligning your frequency into a movement. I know this sounds crazy, but this is the facts of life. You're trying to align yourself. So there's already a cycle going on right now of abundance that exists right now in the universe and in our world. God talks about it. He talks about it in the Bible. Jesus talks about it. You multiply. If whoever calls my name will multiply. Pray by God. God will help you multiply. Believes in me. This is why I want to interview him so badly, just because when it clicked, when it changed, when the brain said no more. Yeah, I was done, man. I wasn't going to live that reality ever again. Never again. I was going to live a different reality, a reality where I created my reality, where I was in control, where nobody could manipulate me into doing something that I didn't want to do anymore. Sure, I could still go through the process. The brain is always figuring it out, but... So there's already a wheel of abundance right now in the world. It's already moving. The humans that have figured it out are part of that wheel. Some of them have landscaping businesses. Some of them have pool businesses. Some of them have teaching businesses. Some of them are online. Some of them are offline. Some of them are doing jet ski rentals. I don't care what you're doing. There's so many businesses out there that so many successful people are running all around the world. In every different country, there's a successful guy right now in Scotland with a successful business. There's people in the suit business, right? So this wheel of abundance is moving. How do you get in? You have to start becoming part of a constant movement. That means giving and receiving at all times. So you have to be open to receiving, which means you have to believe you deserve, which means you have to remove all your chakras that have been burnt and hurt throughout your past. If people have abused you, if you don't believe you deserve it, you need to get rid of those chakras. I was there. I had all the knowledge. I had all the sense of self. I was even confident at times. But deep down inside, I lacked the overall career confidence. What does that mean? If I was at a bar and someone said, hey, go talk to those girls when I was a single guy back in the day, I would go do it. I wasn't shy. I actually had confidence. I actually could get up in front of a crowd and rap on a microphone. Like, I had confidence. When it came to the day-to-day, I wasn't socially shy. What I was shy about was finding my destiny. That's interesting, right? So on the outskirts, I was this open-minded guy. Do whatever. You know what I mean? Deep inside, the guy who wanted to become a multimillionaire and change my life, I was afraid of that person. I was afraid if I went for it and it didn't happen, I'd be so depressed that I didn't make it that I said, why try? And I let that thought fester and fester in my mind till I never really did what I wanted to do with my life. Throughout my late 20s into my 30s, I half-assed a lot of my life. Sorry to say. I don't mean to swear, but I did. I don't think there's no better adjective for what I did. I finally decided to go full-blown hard, and in crypto, it all came through at the right time. God perfected it the way he wanted it. He sculptured my life with his hands. I was just a piece of clay for God to use, you know what I mean? And therefore, together we are. Amen, man. So eventually, we're going to reverse on this 15. We know it's going to happen eventually. We know it's going to happen eventually. We're going to reverse on this 15-minute time frame. Yeah. Why are you redrawing the lines? I love you, man. Do whatever you want, Siobhan. It's funny when someone asks that question because life is constantly moving. And the universe is constantly moving and you're inside of something, I don't know, you know. So if you're not redrawing your lines, you're staying stagnant. And if you're staying stagnant, you're not going to be able to figure out what's happening. This is chess, Siobhan. And I know that's Shia Bahan, but that's Siobhan in Ireland. So I'm pretty sure you're from Ireland, but or you're Irish in somewhere in America or in the world. But Siobhan, which most people wouldn't even, you know, most people don't know this is Siobhan, but that's Siobhan in Gaelic. So I know you better than you know. No, but I understand you. I understand where you're coming from, Siobhan. And here's the deal. We're playing chess right now. No, seriously, we're playing chess right now. When you're playing chess, do you know what the guy on the other side's going to do? You have some ideas, but you don't know for sure. You have some ideas, but you don't know for sure. Okay? If you tell yourself exactly how the next chess player is going to move, is that a great idea? No. What you do is you prepare for multiple moves, don't you? Yeah. And then if one of the moves changes, don't you change your strategy? Don't you slightly adjust your lines, quote unquote? Same thing in trading. Right now, we're looking to see what's going to happen. This is real-time technical analysis. This isn't just like slapping on a chart and telling you this is it. All right? That's a super powerful. Keep up the good work. You know what I mean? This is chess, not checkers. Exactly. I shorted 81K off the 200 DMA and still riding. That's crazy. You're spot on, dude. Good for you for holding that. You think you do, but reality is this could be 5 moves ahead of you. 100% he could be. So I look for this. Like, this is kind of what we're still in a downtrend until we're not. Till this turns into some type of reversal pattern. Like, even if we get this reversal, I would wait for us to get the right shoulder. And it looks like we're going to continue down to 59,007. This isn't a big move further. All right. Chinese checkers is funner. I get it, Tenacious. Remember Tenacious Tim? Is that Tenacious Tim? The Tenacious. There's a guy named Tenacious Tim in my trading group. I'll always forget. I always remember Timmy. Nobody's doing PVs over 1. Exactly. 100%. What a weirdo. Sam, you're changing lives. I see you on a bigger stage on your stream, reaching more people. Hey, man, may God bless you, brother. Yeah, the 10-year yield is still climbing. Not a good thing. Shout out to Wang Chung. God bless you, brother. Thank you for being here and hanging out. Future crypto teacher, God bless you, man. Yeah, you're the best. No, you're the best, man. God bless you. Liquidity is flowing out of the U.S. Yeah, it's going all around the world, man. Into AI, supercomputers, semiconductors. I get a few tricks up my sleeve that I'm looking at right now, and I'm going to share it with my trading group. They're going to know I have some ideas, man. I'm back to my new age investing mindset, where I'm going to look for the future of investing. Bitcoin was the future 10 years ago. I figured that out. It's still going to run with the future. I think it's still an asset. It's still your base asset. It's going to be your future base asset. It's going to be what we everything's going to be in Satoshis in the next 20 years for sure. A house is how many sats? All that stuff is going to be in Satoshis. All right. Bunch of pizza sellers today. Time will prove their mistakes. 100%. I bought more Bitcoin today. Did you? See what I'm saying? Like, I love the FUD. I love the fear, baby. Bring it on. Bring it on. Bring it on. I am crypto. I like to see what Grok can do, right? See how it figures that out. Wow, we're continuing to dump without stopping. $10. It shows $10. You know what I mean? I like this one. This AI is kind of funny. Look, I ask it to make I bought Bitcoin. It makes a head and shoulder pattern, you know. These are cool. I like these. That's kind of funny. I'll take that one. Yeah, and I just, you know what I mean? You can always enhance your post so fast and easily. So nice. No reason not to always have a, you know, I bought more Bitcoin today, did you? I love the fear, baby. Let's go. Let's go over here. Wow, 62.96. They want to break the bank today. Oh my gosh. The 15-minute is in slaughterhouse situation. Look at it, hit the target. That was a descending triangle. Beautiful short. Oh my gosh. How did you get the measured move? It's the base of the triangle. Bang. Right to the 60,330. Definitely wish I shorted that instead of trying to long it twice here. I tried to long both these green candles. Did not play out for me. 3 reversals in a row. They front run. They mess with. This one on the big wick was crazy. So now what? I mean, it's the same story now. This is either going to bleed out. So look how it came in. This is what I do: is you take a fractal from how it came into the price action. So weird. People try to call me on Telegram that I've never met in my life. It's so strange. Telegram is so... I'm so happy I got off of that thing. No offense, like, but Telegram is sketchy. I use it here and there, but not that much. So, like, this is, to me, it's like we're just going to continue lower then. You know, or we're going to have to either reverse or continue lower. That's it. We don't live in much more of a duality. There's not more dualities here. There's only so much that can happen. Do we go to 58,695? I mean, let's take a look again. Let's zoom out. The big picture. Wow, that's just... And I kept telling you guys to prepare for a massive dump on that daily time frame. I kept saying it. I said, hey, it looks like the daily's in a head and shoulder again. And I said it every time I said to head short on the right shoulder. All 3 times it's played out. I said, prepare, get yourself a head short. Look, the measured move is the whole length here to the neckline. The neckline is here. I mean, it looks like it's headed to 57.8. That's the target. No, sorry. Yeah, 59,380 is the target. But wow, the daily. And you know, we had this, the daily stochastics were very overbought. That also told me, not a good sign. And I'm telling you, the descending triangle, if you get to know it and get to learn how to trade it, you become comfortable with it, it can make you so much money. I think it's the best pattern in the game. As much as I am a long guy, man, shorting, even my buddy knows, master friend knows, Sam loves the descending triangle. It's like his payday. Like, and he sees that pattern, and he kind of has an Adam and Eve in it too. I just for the first time seeing that, you know, I like it's usually a little closer, but it still has that same pattern of a lower high, and then it comes down and takes the dump. 60,360. Bitcoin has no mercy today. Right? And the only way I have a camera here, lower prices means accumulation. That's what I'm talking about. When I accumulate Bitcoin, the real time to accumulate takes a long period of time. It doesn't happen overnight. It's not like a fast. It takes time. Wow, that daily candle. I mean, and again, how much bigger are daily candles? Like, that's one of the biggest daily candles right there. You know? So, shout out to all the beautiful people watching me on X and all my X people, man. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. I know you don't want to leave the app, but I'm here for you no matter what. So, God bless you. Thank you so much. Please comment, say what up, let me know. attempting to finally reverse. Again, you got to get a dump first on the 1 hour candle. At 12 o'clock, we pumped immediately. So bearish. That's likely a short further down. You can't keep pumping. You don't want to pump at the beginning of the 1 hour. We have to dump right when the 1 hour candle opens so that we can pump back up and make a wick. This is what happened last night on the daily. That's why I knew today was going to be bearish. I told you guys in the Discord, because we started pumping at 8 p.m. That was a screaming short right there at 63,394. Even just knowing how to trade the daily candle with high stochastics, there's so many ways I can teach you how to manipulate this market in your favor. And they don't know that you're going to know all this information. They don't know how much you know. So how can they actually get you out of things that they don't even know you know yet? Wow, that's extension. You know, it tells me we have to stick to the smaller time frames, and they're going to keep dumping until they don't. Like, this will keep making some type of, we don't know exactly how it's going to happen, but it's going to make some type of descending triangle yet again. 21 looks like it doesn't even have to get close. It just has to come down towards it. So we need something like this, and then 59,000, 59.2 to 59.3, right? Here for the mother of all bounces over here. Be careful when you're long, guys. Jim Cramer saying bye. I know, right? Jim Cramer says we're going to bounce. The worst thing we could ever see in our lives. Let's take a look at the DXY, which is the dollar. You know, the dollar struggling, which is good. I mean, in general, on the 5 minute, but look, it's pumping on the bigger time frames. See it on the daily. To me, it's about to hit the top and then come back down again. Top of the range, but it does look like it's, you know, and eventually just sideways, eventually rolls over. Let's look at tether dominance, though. That's been on a tear. And remember, the last time we talked about it, I said it looks bullish. I said, that's going to break out. I said, look at it on the daily. I said, it looked like WorldCoin. You know what I'm saying? And we even put on a little trade there that looks like it played out too as well. But there's the 21 above the 200 in the tightness. And in the stochastics were curving up. Again, what we need to see is eventually some bear div. We need this to go higher, which it looks like it will here. And we'll get a swing up, and this will go here. This will get a swing down. We'll get some bearish divergence, and then we'll be overbought and come on down. But it looks like that's going to be about a $58,000, $57,000 Bitcoin. So imagine if Sailor dumps now. You guys are funny. Sailor's going to destroy me. You know, I read this whole thing like BlackRock wants to get him out. So look, we talked about lab pumping, and we gave you guys an in on lab. Honestly, right around here when it bounced off the low. I don't know why I'm up there. I feel like this changed on me, but we went over this. We went over this yesterday as one of the hotter possible coins that could pump. And we did give an entry somewhere at 17. It's at 1997, hit 21. So congratulations if you got into lab. It looks like it's going to continue. Does not care about Bitcoin, and it could head up to 35. So lab's on the radar too as well. All right. Brother, what are your opinion about the Sailor case? Sailor's going to get, he could just keep doing his thing. Keep issuing debt to buy more Bitcoin. And it's not really a big deal. That's what he'll continue to do. You're going to watch Bitcoin now on the 5 minute time frame and see if it either makes a giant inverted here or if it makes another descending triangle. And look for the area of 59,000 to take more profits on that short as we dump the entire stream all the way down to $60,300. Amazing. Shout out to everybody here. Thank you for jumping on in. I appreciate it. If you saw the stream yesterday, if you were in my trading group and you took advantage of the short, the overall bigger idea, I did have a scalp there, but the overall bigger idea was the short to the downside. God bless everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. Let me take a look at the super chats before I jump on out of here and see what's happening. That's the last thing. People say, hey, you didn't look at the super chats. Let me check those. It's been a crazy live stream, so feeling like a fairy. No, never give up. DEGEN, we talked about it. Arbitrage, we talked about that. So much wisdom. Okay, I nailed every super chat. Shout out to Warner Mackey, iFree, Neighborhood Helper, Rave Song Records, and the Blues Guy, and Bitcoin Bill with a $100 super chat. You people are absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for the constant love and the viewership. Shout out to everyone that came here today. One of the bigger live streams in a while from that dump. Over 1,200 people here on the beautiful stream. Hit the like button. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. I would greatly appreciate it. Stay in the trading group throughout the day. I have an iPad with me. I'll be checking it out. God bless you all. Thank you so much. I will see you tomorrow for another beautiful, absolutely amazing live stream, and we can make a day's pay every single day here on the channel. God bless you. Thank you so much. The secret to success is getting started.